I'm just going to write in the dialogue here. Right, instead of doing, you can do it with the text tool as well. You can go to here and you can add in text. You can add photos. You can, it's so much you can do here, and you can just do it in the text box and write in the dialogue. I've been doing comics for a long time, so I'm pretty comfortable with just doing it by hand. So I'm going to try that. Here, I've got the dialogue written out here. On my sketch that I've done to lead into this. There's our first part of dialogue. I've been shut in for 3 months. It's time I ventured out of the house. Panel 2, venturing out of the house, and maybe we'll put some trees here. Some plants or some shrubs or something. Just an indication of it. Something outside, maybe a tree over here. This is Town of the Blue Mountains, or maybe Collingwood Park or trail system. And oops, let's see, here's our final panel. And here's the punchline. Here's the payoff. This is what you've all been waiting for. Here. Where have you been? Where have you been? COVID-19 was 2 pandemics ago. And you can see the character on the far right is wearing a total body costume and very well protected against something. So you can see the progression here. The initial panel here, the character's putting on a mask of some kind to protect themselves to go out of the house. And we can put some things in here too to show it's a house. We can maybe put a clock on the wall or something. That's always a pretty simple symbol to show you're inside of a house. And just a couple of hands there. And then the second panel, this character has ventured out of the house. We can even maybe show the house here and off to the side. They ventured out of maybe a window or something here. Something to show that they're ventured outside and this great mysterious outside world, and then they meet somebody. Where have you been? COVID-19 was 2 pandemics ago. So you don't need a whole lot of detail, just a couple little signs to show where the character is, and no words in the second panel, just kind of a mime of what's happening, and then third panel the payoff. So this is a very simple gag, and but you'll find the simple ones can often be the most fun, and the best for a reader, and the most satisfying for the artist as well. You don't have to have a lot of. I love drawing in detail, but sometimes just the simple is best, as they say. Now this was done on ProCreate on an iPad, which is the program that I've been working with on these cartoons, especially on these digital cartoons. Now, this may be of interest to families out there that the Apple now, an Apple app is available called ProCreate Pocket, which is an app that you can get on your iPhone. Very exciting, and it looks like a marvelous new app that you can get on your iPhone, and especially for people that do finger drawing or if that's all you have is an Apple phone, and I know they're very popular, especially today. And I know a lot of youngsters and families are starting to use that tool, and so it's very accessible. Available for just $6.99 if you wanted to get it. These things are so accessible if you have the hardware. The software is very accessible and quite reasonable, and it's pretty tremendous for especially families. If you could get the whole family to do comic strips fighting over an iPhone, I can't imagine that. That could be a comic strip in itself. But I would maybe just like to point out a couple of things about the 3-panel gag. They're a little different than the 4-panel gags. The 4-panel gags, it's a little more of a process. Maybe we'll just go to we'll just kind of block out these layers here and go to the 4-panel. So the 4-panel is a little different setup. In the first panel, you could really establish the very basic thing. Like here I am sitting at my desk wondering whether I should go outside or not. And then the second panel, you could stretch it out a bit, and that can be quite funny too. You could stretch out that same gag, and it would still be quite funny. I just find that our attention spans are a little different today. We like to get right to it, right away, and it works very well that way. I think the best person at doing the 4-panel gags was Charles Schultz. He was my hero and he could seem to keep your attention, even though he could be quite wordy, and he seemed to have a way of doing it that was you'd kept you reading every day. Have a look here. So let's go back to the review a bit here. So I did basically the rough pencil line before I did the ink line. I laid out my characters in panel 1 here. You can see the character just roughly sketched in, doing something. He was actually putting his mask on, and we can show that with the final artwork there. And then the same with the middle. I just basically did a sketch of the character stepping outside, and that's with the black line. And then the third panel with our main character and the strange guy on the right, and our punchline. So I hope you enjoyed what we had, and we'll hope to talk to you soon.